I had at Lollapalooza specifically when I played a couple years ago. I met Noah Khan, and he's like the nicest person ever. Like I was so nervous to come up to him. K-pop that I would love to I would love to do features with different K-pop groups. Like
it brings me to this: that which K-pop artist or group perhaps would you like to really
totally.
experiment?
I'm on the same label as Lisa, and she's crushing it right now. And I mean, like, any of you guys want to hit me up and do a song, I'm so down. So I'm looking into the camera at you, Lisa.
Hi, this is Bhavna and you're watching India Today. Well, today I have someone very special joining me here. This is her first time in India and she's all set to blow our minds with her performances. If you have not guessed it as yet, I am talking about Isabel, who is all set to perform at Lollapalooza 2025 in Mumbai.
Yes.
Firstly, a huge welcome,
Thank
Isabel.
you.
How are you?
I'm very excited about everything. It's so crazy.
I am so excited to have you in India for the first time.
I know.
Since you've landed here, what has been the experience like? Just, you know, what you thought of India versus what it is like? Is there a difference?
Okay. I feel like I haven't been able to see that much of it because we got in at like midnight, and then now I've seen the drive to the hotel and then the drive to here. But I feel like it's so different from I mean, obviously the US, but it's just like it's so cool to see like what I had thought of it in my mind versus like what it is. But it's just, I mean, it's beautiful. I love it.
And you've not even seen it enough.
No, I've literally seen like a 10-minute drive and then a 5-minute drive. So I'm not well versed on what I've seen.
No, but also about the food and everything. Did you get to experience anything culinary as of now?
Literally, no. We got in at midnight and then I was like falling asleep standing up. So I just like passed out. And then today I woke up and we have food I'm gonna eat, but I have not eaten yet today. So I'm going to. It's happening.
I'll wait for you to give me a
and then I'll give you a review.
Like, what did you like? What did you thought? I can give you some suggestions. Off
no,
camera,
please. I'm open to any suggestions.
Lovely. But you know, I also want to understand, when you're playing in different countries or different cities, does your playlist or your set list change according to the country? Like, how do you sort of place your music then?
That's so interesting. It hasn't changed. Again, like Thomas, my brother is Thomas and he's my producer and everything. We're so bad about time management that we'll create the set like a day before we perform. So thinking in advance about that is not really our strong suit. So we have a specific set for Lollapalooza here. But we haven't really changed it that much from like other sets that we've done, so I'm curious to see how it'll go over. But we're just bad at time management. So
which is your favorite song to perform though at any festival, which you know is a sure hit and people will vibe to it?
I feel like at festivals specifically, I'm Yours is really fun to perform because for whatever reason it seems like everyone knows it. Like favorite.
Also, it's the most viral song.
Totally.
Right?
So I feel like Yours is really, really fun to perform at festivals.
And what kind of, like, you know, reciprocation when we say there are different kinds. Sometimes the audience like to just vibe to the music. Sometimes they're dancing really wild, and sometimes they're very polite and very
I don't want politeness. I feel like I do kind of wild never mind, I was gonna curse. I do kind of wild things on stage, and so I feel like if I do something kind of wild and there's no energy reciprocated towards it, I'm like, I just look stupid. So I feel like it's just a matching of the energy is fun because I feel like I try to bring a lot of it.
Absolutely, and I can guarantee you it is going to be a wild time here in India. Let's not disappoint, guys. I'm already very like.
I'm like, oh, now I'm hyping it. I'm like mentally hyping it up. I'm nervous.
No, but you know, even with Lollapalooza, what are your expectations when you go to a festival like that? Because this is perhaps one of those times where you also as an artist get to see, perform and meet so many other artists from different genres, right? What has been your best interaction so far, and what are you expecting here in India when it comes to that?
I would say there's a funny experience I had at Lollapalooza specifically when I played a couple years ago. I met Noah Khan, and he's like the nicest person ever. Like I was so nervous to come up to him, but it was just so funny because I was wearing an outfit at the time. I was in like full leather and like studded like spikes everywhere, so I looked really intense, and I'm going up to Noah Khan, who's like, his music doesn't really fit that style, and I was like, I'm such a fan of you, it's so nice to meet you, like, I love your music. He was like, I think he was really confused, but he was so nice, and it was just so much fun. It was just hilarious, and Spotify filmed it, and it was just so funny to watch. I was like, oh, I was fangirling, but yeah, it was a very fun.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I think it's lovely when
totally.
such experiences happen.
Yeah, no, I'm like, I love so many different types of music, so I just think sometimes it comes, like, it looks funny when it comes from me, because I feel like sometimes I dress kind of intensely, and people are like, really? You like my music? Huh, okay.
Do you also like, because you've experimented with your music, but within the same genre so far, right? Is there anything that you really want to experiment with and just go out of the box when it comes to the genre as well?
Yeah, I feel like there's so many different things that, like, I could see myself doing. I mean, I think it would be so cool to, like, to do something. I mean, I would love to do a song with Noah Khan. There's also, like, K-pop that I would love to, like, I would love to do features with different K-pop groups. Like, I'm really open to most things, and I feel like in my music, a lot of the times, like, the throughout is, like, my vocal style, so I feel like I'm able to change up a lot of styles and have it sound consistent because of, I have a distinct vocal style. You know what I mean?
That's true, yeah. But how do you work on that before I get on? Yeah. Because it's very difficult, especially for any vocalist. They can attest that it's a very difficult art to be able to have, because your vocal range can be distinct, but your voice is still the same.
Totally.
Right? But you still manage to make it sound different with each song.
Yeah.
How?
I don't. The funny thing is that, like, I actually don't have a super high voice. I'm naturally an alto, and so my brother and I kind of, like, when, like, a few years ago we were experimenting with, like, kind of because I was like, most artists have a distinct vocal style. Like, you know Taylor Swift when you hear her. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't know. And I feel like I fell into a kind of thing that feels natural for me. But it is funny because, like, in my recordings versus live, like, live I can't be as breathy just because I run around so much that it's just impossible. So it's I feel like I get to show.
But you're still very steady.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Thank you.
Because it's very difficult, I know that.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. It takes a while, but it's fun. It's fun to be able to show different sides of what I can do vocally in different settings. So.
True. But also, again, that brings me to this, like you said, that you experiment when you would like to experiment, in fact, with different artists. You mentioned K-pop. I am a huge K-pop fan myself. So that also brings me to this, that which K-pop artist or group perhaps would you like to really experiment with?
I mean, I feel like there's so many. Right now I'm obsessed with Katseye. Like, I
God,
love Katseye so much. They're so cool. A couple of them followed me back on Instagram, and I was like, stop.
A collab is coming.
Please. No, but they're just so cool, and it's like I feel like they're doing things, like, differently, and it's very cool to see. I mean, I love Kiss of Life.
Oh my God! Did you also try the igloo?
I'm not that much of a dancer, but maybe I'll learn. And then, I mean, I feel like all of the BLACKPINK girls are now they're on doing their own solo things, but it's just, like, so. I mean, I'm on the same label as Lisa, and she's crushing it right now. And I mean, like, any of you guys want to hit me up and do a song, I'm so down. So
we would love that. I mean, because your voice and Lisa's energy and rap, I think that would be a killer blend.
It would be very fun, and I'm just a fan of her. So
I think it is going to happen. Let's manifest it.
Listen, I'm looking into the camera at you, Lisa,
and we will make sure.
Yeah, no, seriously.
It's a great thing. But also, I want to again understand, when it comes to your music, you sort of collab with your brother a lot, right, Thomas? Having a sibling as your as your co-worker as well, I don't know. It doesn't
You're thinking about this in your head.
I'm just like, if I have to work with my sibling, I think we'll just be fighting all the time. I just want to know,
hilarious.
what are the pros and cons of sort of working with someone you know so well personally as well.
Totally.
That can be a great thing, but also
not a good thing. No, totally. I think which is funny, my phone is buzzing and it's literally him. So, I mean, we've worked together. I mean, Thomas started writing songs when he was, like, 11 and I was 7. And so we've been doing it for literally our entire lives, and so it's like he's really like the other half of my brain. I feel like just in general, but especially with music. And so, I mean, obviously any siblings we're going to get into disagreements sometimes, but I don't really feel like we fight that much, honestly. I feel like we have a really good system. And I love working with him so much. Like it's nice because what's hilarious sometimes is that we'll be writing a song and it'll be about something that's truly personal to my life, and he'll write a lyric that sounds like I wrote it because it's so specific because he knows me so well. So that's like a plus of having somebody that you know so well to write with.
But what is the not so good thing about it?
Well, I feel like we're both so stubborn, especially him. He's so stubborn, and that's such an amazing quality about him. But sometimes if we just have different like views on things, I'm like, well, I don't agree with you, and he's like, yeah, he's just a stubborn person, but that makes it good also, you know. But it's just like we both have like, you know, very strong opinions about things, and when those don't line up, we're kind of like, okay, well, who's gonna cave? Because someone has to.
And who does usually?
Usually it's me. But no, I feel like it's a pretty even caving situation. But you know, he's great.
We would like to believe that.
Yeah,
I also tell myself.
Yeah, no, seriously. But he's the best. I love Thomas. And,
no, I mean it's a best working collaboration as well for you because it has worked so far. Because I think he knows you in and out, so he can really understand what kind of music you want to do. And similarly, you can trust him enough to know that whatever he does will bring out the best in you.
Definitely,
right? Also about your voice is also the way you look at music, or what you want to convey through your music. Has that also changed since your debut? Because I feel like with Raven, I could see I could see an evolution.
Yeah, totally.
But personally for you as well, do you see a change?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like at least in the past couple of years, I've like evolved so much. I feel like now I look back and I'm like, oh God, I was like a baby, you know what I mean? But even though it's only been a couple years, and I feel like I just always try to be evolving because I think I just get bored if I don't. And I feel like, especially right now, I feel like I've found a like visual style and music style that I feel like truly feels like a representation of what I want to put out there. So it feels really nice to get there. But I'm also like, even though I feel like I've found that, I don't ever want to be like, okay, this is it, and I've found it, and that's good. I always want to be like, you know, moving forward. But I do feel like I've changed so just as a person and creatively so much in the past couple of years.
And what has been your biggest takeaway or a lesson that you've learned over the years, which has made you a better person and a musician as well?
Yeah, there's so many like lessons that I feel like I've learned to like just personally in my life, and then also in music. But I feel like just like it sounds corny, but like truly just not stopping and not giving up is so like because things can be so demoralizing sometimes, and like you really just have to like develop a thick skin for things. And then also like just like having good standards for myself on a personal level, and in terms of like what I'll accept from people is something that has helped my like my life so much in the past couple of years. But it takes a while to learn that, you know.
Absolutely. At what point in your career did you learn that, or did you see that shift in you? Because I believe when you start off, you're like a mold, right? Like you're like clay.
Yeah,
anyone can mold you at that point. And so many things affect you, but over the years I think you learn not to get affected. You know, when was that turning point for you?
I feel like there's been no distinct like turning point for me. I think that there are just little things that I've picked up like, and then I've learned and been like, oh, I've been in a situation where like I don't like the way that said person is like, whether it's about music or whatever it is. I'm like, I don't like the way that this person is like treating me, and then you just have to learn how to like draw a firm line, you know what I mean? But that it hasn't really felt like there's been a distinct point where I'm like, okay, now I've learned it, and I feel like I'm still learning that, you know what I mean?
It's just the beginning, I would say, Isabel. There's so much more to do, especially now, because the markets are sort of like, there's a synergy that is happening. It's no more just about American pop or Indian pop. Everything is global now.
Oh, absolutely.
That also means there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, no, definitely.
From all around the world.
Yeah, definitely.
How do you sort of balance your expectation from your own albums or music versus the global expectation from fans around the world as well?
Totally. I think that like it's odd because I'm like, it's still weird to me that anybody cares at all. So I'm like, that's still like a thing that I find that I just try to, oh, my hair is in the way. Okay. Is it better now? Okay. I just try to like kind of keep my head down and like keep the blinders on a lot of the times, because I think if I focus too much on people's expectations or like what they're gonna think of this, or if this doesn't do what I want it to, like, you know, they're gonna be disappointed. I think that you just have to like kind of be like, okay, there's always, not everything is going to be my biggest thing ever. Not everything is going to be like something that people are in the happiest about, but if I feel strongly about it, I should do it. And you just kind of gotta like, you know, keep not pay attention to it all the time. And then there are like moments that you have where you like kind of poke your head up and you're like, oh, this is crazy, this is wild, and then you just kind of keep going. I feel like 90% of it is just like writing songs and
just putting all of that experience in songs. I think that is what eventually it is. I mean, and that is also the art that you all have, right? Like, it's not easy, but it's also the most beautiful thing and most therapeutic thing ever.
Oh my God, it is.
Also, I want to understand your process when you're composing or you're just producing songs with your brother. What comes first to you? The melody, the lyrics? Like, how do you go about it?
Order-wise, I feel like we usually start off with a main lyric, because the lyric first. And like the lyric of like the main lyric of the chorus, like it's like favorite. It was, can I be your favorite? Like that was the main line. And then I feel like, because it's hard for me to write without knowing what I'm writing towards, you know what I mean? So we usually write the chorus first, but I would say lyric and melody are the two most important things.
Yeah, and then rest of it follows.
Completely, but we kind of write backwards from there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to watch you perform at Lola this year, but also because this is your first time in India and you will get to also experience a lot of India, hopefully, in the limited time that you have.
I'm trying.
I want to know, have you previously heard any of the Indian artists, or is there an artist in mind you would like to collab with from India as well?
That's so interesting. I feel like I need to verse myself more on like the artists that specifically have come.
You suggestions.
Please send me suggestions, because I would love to collaborate with, and I feel like I just need to know more about it. So please send me any artists that I should be listening to, any artists that you think I would collaborate well with, let me know.
In the comments below as well, and I will do the honors of just sharing it with you.
I want to know.
But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited to watching.
Thank you
For watching you, and hopefully you have a great time in India as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.